A nice shot of Venice and the Staples Center. These are the playoffs on TNT. And tonight, the Western Conference Finals, Game 2. Tonight's Gatorade starting lineup for the Portland Trail Blazers. Damon Stoudemire with Smith, Pippen, Sabonis, and Rasheed Wallace, the most talked about Blazers. For the Los Angeles Lakers, Ron Harper, Kobe Bryant, Glen Rice, Shaquille O'Neal, and A.C. Green. Big Laker fans in attendance tonight, like the legendary actor Dustin Hoffman. He sits very close to the Laker bench. And Jack Nicholson with his very familiar court-side seat. Michael Keaton is here at the Staples Center tonight watching. And Denzel Washington. And Will Smith and Laverne, Penny Marshall. Or was she Shirley? Which one was she, Danny? You watched that show.
I don't know.
She was Laverne. I'm just testing your knowledge.
Ask Coach Thompson that. He watches Laverne and Shirley.
Well, I know he was watching the Brady show last night.
I think she was Laverne.
I'm about ready to watch the Lakers and the Blazers now. Let's get ready to rumble.
I'll tell you what, we just saw a picture of Arvydas Sabonis, the center for the Portland Trail Blazers, who, Danny, was non-existent in Game 1.
Right, and they were just trying to isolate, bring Shaq away from the basket and post up other players. But I think they need to run some more pick and rolls and get him involved in the game early to make Shaq play some defense.
Los Angeles, as we mentioned before, 7-0 in this year's playoffs at home. They played a nearly perfect first half on Saturday with a huge bench performance in Game 1. And their three-point shooting, John, was out of the world.
Well, and that's extremely important for both teams, I think. You want to get a good offensive start because that gives the energy to the teams defensively, as we saw in the Knicks series with Miami.
Scottie Pippen over Rice into Sabonis. And right off the bat, his shot doesn't go. Rebound by Ron Harper against his old teammate Scottie Pippen from Chicago Bulls championship days.
You can see the Blazers just sagging off of Harper and AC, making it difficult for them to throw the ball inside.
Kobe Bryant missing badly. Rebound by Sabonis, who had just one the other afternoon. And here comes Pippen. Phil Jackson pointed out, as his old player had a lot of pressure on him to lead the Blazers. Again, they try to get Sabonis started early, and they do.
Well, and two shots he took were going towards Shaq. That's what I think the best defense against Shaq is, to attack him offensively and to try to get him frustrated and in foul trouble.
He played 33 scoreless minutes in Game 1. That's his first field goal since then. And outside, a shot with a miss by Glen Rice.
Again, they had it difficult getting the ball inside to Shaq. They're just sagging off of Harper and AC.
And the leading scorer in the playoffs, Smith with the miss, but an offensive rebound. Blazers and Pippen on the top. Inside, Rasheed Wallace, who knocks it in. And Danny, you said earlier that you think that that is the one Achilles heel the Los Angeles Lakers have, that power forward position, in particular against Wallace.
Well, they do against Wallace, but the bottom line is it's not so much that AC and Ori aren't very good players. It's the fact that Wallace is a great low post player, and they have no chance of defending him.
The Sabonis block, the pirouette by Pippen, and the Lakers have their biggest deficit at home during this year's playoffs. 6 points right now with 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
Well, the good thing is that everything that they've done so far is going to the basket as opposed to standing out. In transition, they're getting down quickly and getting there before Shaq gets there, just as this is.
And Steve Smith plying his way inside and assisting Scottie Pippen.
And Shaq hasn't touched the ball yet. They haven't even been able to get the ball down in the inside.
A foul called on the Los Angeles. Make it Stoudemire of Portland.
Right here, I love the fact they're going inside to Sabonis. He missed his first one, but they came right back to him. Harper goes for the steal right there. Shaq's outside guarding Sabonis. Nobody to guard the basket.
A.C. Green left uncovered. And it's Rice again, bodying up against Smith. Shot clock at 3. Harper wiggling inside with the runner. Rebound by Shaq, and Sabonis is there with the foul.
Great play by Shaq. That's the first possession. They go 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes before they even get the ball on the inside to him. They double team him very quickly, but he gets the second effort. When the ball goes into Shaq, it makes the defense collapse, allowing for Harper to penetrate, which allows Shaq to get the offensive rebound right there when Sabonis went to help on Harper.
Well, and even on that play, you know, Harper was penetrating. He drew through 3 guys from the Portland team and left Shaq under the basket. They've got to be careful of doing that because penetration will get Shaq open.
Numbers from game 1 from Shaquille O'Neal. Rebound by A.C. Green.
Boy, Scottie Pippen isn't guarding anybody. I mean, he's really back off the line.
And A.C. Green hits one from outside.
Well, A.C., they're daring A.C. to shoot that ball. They figured the less touches that Shaq gets, the better. And so far, 1 possession. But A.C., if A.C. and Harper both very effective in the last 2 possessions.
Shaq came out on Sabonis. Shot clock at 9 as Pippen finds Wallace working on Green on the block. Kobe Bryant is there with the rebound.
Well, Rasheed faded on that shot. He needs to take advantage of his size when he catches the ball that low and just go right over Green.
Open is Rice for 2.
That's the one guy that the Blazers don't want to shoot spot-up open jump shots is Glen Rice. But their defense got broken down right there. Scottie's roaming all over the place.
Damon Stoudemire, who at 5'10", goes up against the 6'6" Harper and the 6'7" Kobe Bryant. It's Smith to Pippen, driving the baseline with the reverse try, and the rebound by Shaq.
Now the big fella's bringing it down the court. He needs to give it up and just get on under the basket. Be a shame if he picked up an offensive foul, dribbling the ball down the court.
Shaq hasn't scored so far, with about 4 minutes gone in the first quarter. O'Neal. Rebound by Sabonis, and Shaq with the miss. 0 of 1 tonight.
That's why I like double teaming Shaq early in the game, because it takes away some of his aggressiveness and makes him take quick shots as opposed to using his strength and back down.
Stoudemire took the shot. Los Angeles corrals the rebound. Shaq again quickly doubled. And Green again left free to fire. Hit the first one he shot. Offensive rebound by Harper into Kobe, sliding inside. And a Portland foul.
Well, Scottie Pippen, he tries to guard everybody on the court. He doesn't want to guard AC. He doesn't really want to guard Harper with the ball right there. He's trying to help out on everybody else. You can see he's more in tune to where Kobe is for the double team on Stoudemire and where Shaq is.
Like a free safety in football.
Exactly.
No, and the thing that does also is when you don't guard a guy, even though these guys aren't great shooters or have not been great shooters this season, it puts so much pressure. It has the same effect that Hack and Shaq does. When you don't guard a guy and he's absolutely open, it's very difficult sometimes to make those shots.
Sabonis has 2 fouls. Thus, you saw Brian Grant checking in. And here comes Kobe with his averages. 13 points in Game 1 Saturday against the Blazers. That is the first Laker free throw tonight. They are 1 of 4. Down 8-0 early. LA has scored the last 5 points.
And that's a big foul on Sabonis right there. He got off to a pretty good start. They need his outside shooting. Brian Grant is a tough guy, a rebounder, but not near the outside presence or perimeter passer.
Stoudemire for 3. Rebound inside by Pippen with the loose ball foul called inside. And A.C. Green picks up his first of the night. 7:16 to play here in the first quarter. Lakers are 2 of 8, and Portland has started 4 of 10 from the floor. Wall is trying to unshackle himself from Green. And he'll get the isolation and exploit it.
Well, at that time he did a better job of going towards the baskets. There's no need in him catching the ball in low post position and fading on his jumper. He just needs to turn, stretch, and jump over Green.
And it went down low and inside with a Portland foul. As you take a look at Bryant Grant, and he has assessed his first foul.
This is a matchup that the Blazers have to not just win, but they have to dominate this. And Rasheed Wallace can have his way. He can get a quality shot on AC anytime he wants.
Wallace has already scored 4. The Blazers lead it by 5. Power forward position has got to produce tonight. It really was hampered with the ejection of Rasheed Wallace, and then the exploiting of Robert Horry never took place. It's got to happen tonight, though.
Well, Robert Horry was doing everything, blocking shots, rebounding, taking charges, and knocking down threes, which were huge, hitting 3 of them. Spread out the defense against Shaq. That was the difference in the game.
Robert Horry had a terrific second quarter in game 1, hitting 3 3-point shots.
Well, and he needs to because of how long the bench is on the Blazers team. If the Blazers extend this bench, they certainly are going to need the players from the Lakers to come in and give them quality minutes.
Rice working on Smith inside to Shaq, who's in suffocating Portland defense, and inside Bryant Grant gets it. Remember now, Sabonis on the bench with 2 fouls.
And Bryant Grant picked up 1 foul the last time down the court, so that's half the fouls of the 2 big guys guarding Shaq.
Pippen driving inside with the right-handed sledgehammer.
Well, and I love the fact that they're going to the basket. Sabonis, when he was in, he was up high. Now Grant's up high to pull Shaq out, and then the other players are now starting to post or penetrate to the basket to take advantage of Shaq being out of there.
Pippen's got 6 of Portland's 12 points so far. Bryant with the spin, dishing to Green, on top to Harper, open for 3. Wallace is there to inhale the rebound.
That's perfect defense. That's exactly what the Blazers want to do. Make Harper and AC shoot a lot of outside shots. Double team Kobe and Shaq.
Here's Grant over Shaq, who watches him fire. The rebound by Kobe Bryant. Portland is led by as many as 8. Lakers have not led in the game as Harper finds Rice. L.A. has missed the last 4 from the field. Make it 5. Green inside. Pulls the trigger.
Well, that was a great play, and that's easy to do, particularly if your man is not guarding you. It's very difficult for him to recover and box you out. So Green capitalized on not being guarded and got in and got on the offensive boards.
Danny, how do you like Portland's offense tonight so far?
Well, I like the fact that they're going to Wallace on the post. I think Wallace could get a better shot than that and be a little bit more patient. I'd also like to see Damon Stoudemire get a little bit more involved in the offense. I think he can have his way.
Ron Harper just steamrolled Wallace and brings the Lakers to within 3.
Well, and Kobe hollered earlier for them to run, and they've got to push the ball out because what Portland is doing is equivalent to a zone. Now, they've got to get down. The Lakers do. Sagging and get easy baskets.
Knocked out of bounds. Shot clock is down to 10.
What I was saying about Damon Stoudemire, you know, he can score some points out there. He's had good success against the Lakers in the past, but, you know, they need to use him offensively as well to try to create some offense. Otherwise, he can be a defensive liability for him out there.
6'7" Bryant on the 5'10" Stoudemire. A whistle away from the ball and down low with 4 seconds on the shot clock. And Ron Harper picks up the foul for the Lakers, and he has assessed his first. With 4.5 to play in the first quarter. Scottie Pippen, holder of 6 championship rings. And Smith looking for his first after coming in a trade from Atlanta. The rebound by Harper.
Well, and this is what I'm talking about. The Lakers are trying to push it, set the tempo up just a little bit because of how they, in their half-court offense, are sagging on Shaq.
Wallace with the word for Jack Neese. We got a great crew officiating tonight. Steve Javie, Jack Neese, and Kenny Mauer. 16 seconds to shoot, 4:20 to play here in the first.
You're sucking up to the officials already?
No. It's a veteran crew.
Okay, veteran. You can go with that.
I think they're good.
They are.
There's Green. Green's pretty good. He's hit 2 shots from outside.
Well, AC shoots the ball well at home. He's had a tough time shooting the ball in the playoffs on the road, but he's so far in this game, he's making them pay for the kind of defense.
Wallace inside, spinning on the aforementioned Green with the whistle and a foul called on the Los Angeles Lakers. It's on Green, and he picks up his second. AC Green was not the first power forward choice of Phil Jackson, but because of camp restraints and other issues, he was the only one they could get.
And what a great guy to get. You know, a guy that comes to work every day, loves to play basketball, knows how to play basketball, and plays with his heart on his sleeve out there. Gives everything he's got every night.
And he's from Portland, Oregon, so he's playing against his hometown team. So Green will leave with a 3 of 4 display. Couple outside shots, 1 inside shot. And Robert Horry comes in. The second quarter was his Saturday against the Portland Trail Blazers.
Well, and not only does his offensive ability help them, and particularly if he can hit some shots outside and open up for Shaq, but his length helps also because they're trying to post a lot of the Laker players to take advantage of the fact that Shaq is at the high post guard in their center.
Portland scoring, front line scoring, has been incredible. 14 points from them. All their points tonight. Not a single backcourt point so far.
Well, that's the result of them trying to post a lot of these guys to take advantage of size.
Ron Harper from outside douses a three. Harper is 2 of 4. He's got 5 points.
Well, Ron is wide open. They don't even have anybody running at him. They're paying such a price on guarding Rice, Shaq, and Kobe. He's going to be wide open all night.
Well, and Shaq's not going to get any baskets in there or any good passes until these guys start to hit on the outside. It's a good sign if Green can hit. It's a good sign if Horry can hit. It's a good sign if Harper can shoot because of the fact that they're congested in the middle where Shaq likes to roam.
Glen Rice just picked up a foul, and that is his first of the game. Pippen again gliding on the floor, picked up by Rice. And then slashing inside, and Stoudemire ends up with it for a 2-point shot. Rebound by Rice, and the Lakers want to run. Rice galloping at the other end, shedding Smith and finding Horry, who feeds to Bryant, who launches a three. And the Los Angeles Lakers have their first lead tonight. 17-14 over the Blazers.
Well, Kobe hasn't been able to get involved in the half court because of the double teams. That time he was the beneficiary of the double teams by Shaq.
Smith was double teamed. The Lakers tightening their defensive screws. Rice, he'll put up a three. Stoudemire is there at the rebound.
Well, I haven't seen the Lakers run this much this year. They're really pushing the ball, and I like that, getting it down the court quickly.
Pippen gliding inside, an off-balance shot, which won't go, but he was bouncing off people like a pinball inside the lane. And a foul is called on the Los Angeles Lakers. Shaq picks up his first. 2.5 to play in the first. The Lakers enjoying their first lead tonight.
CNN Sports Illustrated.
Here you see Scottie Pippen, who's cheating, trying to guard everybody on the defense. They're going to swing the ball around. They're going to try to throw the ball inside to Kobe and take advantage. And here comes Scottie Pippen over for the double team. Penetrates. No one's out to Harper. Nobody can rotate. That's by design. They want Ron Harper to make them, and he's paying. He's making them pay. And right there you see Scottie going over the corner to double, roving all over the court like a free safety. Wide open Kobe Bryant.
They could be a pretty good passing team, speaking of the Lakers.
Well, they are, but it's so easy because there's no pressure on them. They're not guarding anybody. They're just giving wide open shots to the Laker perimeter players. That's the disadvantage of having Damon Stoudemire guard Kobe Bryant, and that's why they might go to the big lineup. If Damon can't contribute offensively, they need to go to the big lineup defensively.
And John, the Blazers' calling card all this season has been their defense. They are a defensive-oriented team.
Well, and they are a good defensive team, but as Danny said, they're sagging back so much now. The Lakers can pass the ball around the perimeter. If you want to find out, Kevin, whether they're a good passing team, see if they can get the ball to Shaq with everybody back in the paint the way they are.
Hey, Kenny Smith and Gary Payton can make threes out there with that wide open.
I'll leave that one alone.
Exactly. Shaq has not scored in this game. Only Laker starter not to score. And yet Los Angeles leads as Pippen misses that second free throw. And it's 17-15 Lakers the other way with the 2-point lead. And no changes during that last break for either team. Sabonis is on the Portland bench with 2 quick fouls in the opening minutes of this game. So Grant is in. Wallace playing the center. And Harper trying to maneuver down low. With Rice wiggling. With 1 second to shoot, Horry can't connect. And the rebound is pulled down by Pippen. He lost his footing.
He lost his footing, okay. That's acting. We're in Hollywood. He was trying to bait the referee to get a foul on Shaq, which was a smart play, but the referee didn't go for it. Even he couldn't hold it in, Kevin.
Exactly. Shot clock at 4 for Rasheed Wallace, and they had him double team. Harper's there again. It looks like they want to run.
Lakers are shooting 38%.
Well, now they're trying to They're trying to post Stoudemire and giving them a little bit of their own medicine.
Second foul put on Damon Stoudemire.
You know, Damon Stoudemire is one of the smallest smallest point guards in basketball, guarding one of the biggest guards in basketball right here in Kobe Bryant. Here comes the double team. Someone's going to get open and make him pay right there. Now, Damon right here had to guard Harper this last time down the court. The double team didn't get there fast enough to help him.
Stoudemire will leave, and they're going to bring in a great on-ball defender in Greg Anthony. Last year played with this team and gave them such a great defensive presence.
I think Greg Anthony, who's going to have to get surgery on his feet when the season's over, has bothered him some. And the other thing is the new rule changes have taken away the hand checking on the perimeter, and I think that's made him a little bit less effective defensively. High energy guy, can knock down the three, should give him spark when he comes in the game.
Kid from Las Vegas, played in the national championship team at UNLV. Look at the backcourt scoring for the Lakers. Anthony will try to change that trend for Portland. Wallace down the lane, slammed in by the uncovered Brian Grant.
Well, and by his penetration, he pulled Shaq to him, and when he missed it, Grant was able to tap it in. But again, attack a Shaq. Go towards him as opposed to run from him.
Nice pass by Shaq into Robert Horry.
Well, that was a definite defensive breakdown right there. They do not want to leave a cutter wide open under the basket to double team Shaq. It's got to come from a perimeter shooter.
And what a heck of a pass by a big guy, too.
It was. Smith tries to sneak inside. Ron Harper will grab him, foul him. It's the second on Harper tonight.
Well, right here, there's no pressure on Robert Horry because they're sagging so far in off of Shaq. Wallace loses him, gives up the easy baskets. It doesn't give Scottie time to rotate over to pick him up. The thing I'm most impressed about Shaq, though, in game one was he played 47 minutes. He had 41 points, 7 assists, and 0 turnovers. Really passing the ball, making good decisions.
The Lakers only had 7 turnovers as a team in game one.
Well, and the thing is, too, that you look at this game, as much as they're sagging back on Shaq, he's taking his time. He's not trying to press anything, and he's letting the game come to him. Before it's over, he'll have his points, but he's smart. He's not going to try to pressure. Some of his perimeter players have to do some things to demand more respect, Kevin, from the defense.
The NBA's MVP in Shaquille O'Neal, and Smith hits the second free throw. It's a 2-point game with 46 seconds to play. Sabonis on the bench with 2 quick fouls in the game, and so some juggling, some string pulling by Mike Dunleavy, the Portland coach. Derek Fisher in the game for the first time for the Los Angeles Lakers. Robert Horry, who hit a couple threes in that second quarter. O'Neal drives inside and slams it home. Shaq getting his first 2 tonight. Portland trying to defend and unsuccessful doing it.
And that's very significant right there because that's a second foul on Brian Grant. And that's 2 on Sabonis, 2 on Grant. All they have left is Jermaine O'Neal to go out there and defend Shaq.
So here's Shaq again at the free throw line. He is 0 of 2 tonight. Make it 0 of 3. Wallace is there with the rebound.
And that play is significant because when they throw the ball around the corner, that's when Shaq is most dangerous, is when they go from side to side, and Shaq is moving from block to block, and he catches the ball in that middle area. That's why sagging off on Shaq on the perimeter is a gamble, because it allows the ball to be swung so easily.
I don't think there's any one way to play him, but we saw Sacramento in that first round against the Lakers, and they in games 3 and 4 did a pretty good job getting at Shaq.
Well, they did a pretty good job on him, and one of the things that Sacramento did is that they started to drive at him, got him in foul trouble, got him a little more cautious, and that got them in a situation where he became cautious. Chris Webber did a great job in that ball game of going towards him and attacking him as opposed to being reluctant and staying outside.
While the front court is scoring in all kinds of ways for the Portland Trail Blazers tonight, you just saw the significant foul trouble of both Sabonis and Grant with 2 apiece. Glen Rice just picked up his second foul for the Lakers.
And that plays later in the game, too. Mike Dunleavy has to get him out simply because he can't afford him to not be able to play hack-a-Shaq later in the game.
And look at Smith sneak inside for 2 with new Lakers point guard Derek Fisher going to get the inbound pass. The Blazers have brought in Detlef Schrempf. and Jermaine O'Neal for the final seconds of this first quarter.
Well, and they've extended their defense for the final seconds, too. And I just love to see what would happen if you do extend your defense, particularly if you've got the right combination of players for Portland in the game.
Anthony tries to beat the clock. He can't get it to go, and that's how the first quarter ends. So the Blazers led by 8-0 to begin the game. Los Angeles took their first lead midway through the first quarter, but Scottie Pippen was the key for Portland with 8 points. And at the end of one, the Los Angeles Lakers lead the Portland Trail Blazers 23-22.
Look, these people.
Staples Center and the NBA playoffs on TNT. Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Cheryl Miller. Passing for the Los Angeles Lakers, not something you think about, although Kobe Bryant did have a career year in assists, and the fact that he passes is seeped into O'Neal's game and Glen Rice, and look what they've done in game one.
Well, yes, and O'Neal led the centers this year in assists, and he's getting double teamed and drawing that kind of attention. But the great thing, again, not very many turnovers. And there in the first quarter, only 1 turnover by L.A., 0 turnovers by Portland.
Well, I think Kobe has become of age. I mean, he's a lot more mature this year. He picks his spots. He's confident in his ability. He doesn't have to prove it to anybody any longer, and that makes for a better basketball player. When a young player is trying to prove that he's a good player, he tends to gravitate away from team play.
Lakers lead by 1. They've led by as many as 3. Portland led early by 8. Lakers out there with Fisher, Rick Fox in for the first time, Kobe Bryant, Robert Horry with the ball, and down low is Shaq.
They're putting some full court pressure, but for some reason Rasheed Wallace just lets Robert Horry walk up the court against pressure, and you know, that's not serving the purpose of their full court pressure defense.
Shaq is double teamed by O'Neal. Anthony feeding inside for Wallace, held down by Robert Horry, and a foul called on the Los Angeles Lakers. Robert Horry picks up his first. And moments ago, we saw some nice defense by Greg Anthony and Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, Jermaine O'Neal takes away the baseline, does a good job. Shaq could have leaned into him and got the foul. I don't think he likes to shoot the free throw.
On there, they wouldn't let him get settled in so that they could pick and choose and get the ball in the shot.
Phil Jackson and the Lakers take a timeout. Tomorrow night on TNT, it'll be Game 1 Eastern Conference Finals. The New York Knicks take on the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers tied the Lakers for the best regular season home record at 36-5. Join Dick and Hubie as they call Reggie Miller against Patrick Ewing, the 5th postseason meeting in the last 7 years between these two teams.
What a great series, Coach. That's going to be awesome. The old guys.
Well, I was getting ready to say, particularly for an old guy, is just drifting along like molasses, but still moving forward.
That's the key, moving forward. Shot clock here at 5. Kobe will drive on Wells, take it inside on O'Neal, and come up empty-handed. But a foul is called on the Blazers. As you take a look at young Jermaine O'Neal, who jumped right from the high school ranks in South Carolina to the NBA and picks up a defensive assignment of Kobe Bryant. The foul goes on Bonzi Wells for the first time. And here's Kobe at the free throw line, the newly engaged Kobe Bryant.
A 7-carat diamond.
7.5 on top.
That's the size of a quarter.
Doggone sure doesn't cost a quarter.
No,
I can tell you that.
That's bigger than Gary Payton's earrings.
And that's a lot of diamonds. He's engaged with a high school gal out here in the Los Angeles area. About a minute gone here in the second quarter. Greg Anthony, who played at one time for the New York Knicks, firing over Fisher and knocking it down.
Well, that's good. He brings that air of confidence and energy that they need too, because they're now pressing that. Now Wallace is stepping up and trying to put some energy into the game defensively, and that's very important.
You like it?
I like very much so challenging the Lakers outside, but I also like Fox hitting that jump shot.
The bench was huge in the second quarter in game 1, and Fox, one of the guys.
Right, and this is where they did it at the three-point line in the second quarter last game, hitting 8 of 12. Not only that, but Fox and Horry have been shooting almost 50% from the three-point line in the playoffs.
Robert Horry working on Wallace into Shaq. Triple team. And he puts it down.
Well, see, Kevin, and that's an advantage of fast breaking. He pushed it down. Shaq ran before the help could come. They made a quick jump into the post to Shaq, and he wasn't able to be guarded or helped by anybody.
And they had guys hanging on his arm. It reminded me of my 6-year-old and 4-year-old hanging on me in the backyard.
Well, they're sagging on him now. And they're going at him from all directions.
Look where he catches the ball right here. I mean, he catches the ball and I mean, they want to give those guys shots. They got all day to shoot that. No wonder their shooting percentages are so high from the outside. And right here, look at Jermaine O'Neal. Anthony's jumping on his arms. Shaq's looking for the foul. There's 5 guys in the paint trying to stop him, and they can't.
You know he's going to find himself in a pool of double and triple teams all night long.
But the key is to be able to catch it. If he catches it in the middle, it's all over. It doesn't matter how many of them they have on it.
John Sally has come in with O'Neal. Robert Horry picked up his second foul. And a foul called on the Blazers, and Bonzi Wells picks up his second foul for Portland.
Bonzi had his way in the last game, scored 17 points in the 4th quarter, or the end of the 3rd as well. But right there, he got double teamed. That frustrated him. He did not want to pass that ball.
The Lakers lead by 4, and there's the yapping once again of Rasheed Wallace.
With some of the most advanced safety systems ever engineered.
8-0 to begin the game. Came back. Now they lead by 4. Phil Jackson talking to his group. Lakers are shooting 48% from the field. The Blazers are shooting 33%. And Los Angeles, as we mentioned before, leading this series 1-0. So the all-important game 2 tonight. And the Blazers find themselves in foul trouble. Pippen has led them in scoring, but Bryant has 2 fouls, as does Arvydas Sabonis. And that changes the way they're going to attack things now.
It does. They got Jermaine O'Neal, but now they're coming back with Sabonis, but they're going to come down and double team and try to protect him. But let's see if Sabonis can get some offensive going. This is the first time I've seen the Lakers use Sally as a power forward this entire season, because Horry and AC have 2 fouls each.
And how do you like it? Well, they have no other option, I guess.
I think that it opens up their ability to double team a little bit more without Horry out there, obviously, and AC, but they don't want to leave Fox open. He's been knocking him down.
Except that one right there, and a whistle called underneath. And this one is on Shaq. And Shaq picks up his second foul. So now Shaq has 2, Sabonis has 2. Let's watch it again.
Well, right here, Shaq is just trying to get inside, trying to offensive rebound. He just looks like he's scrambling for the ball. I didn't see much of a foul there.
And I think it's Sabonis' experience again. You start to hook, you start to bump a little bit. Shaq is being bumped by somebody as heavy as he is. He tends to retaliate, and the referee sees the retaliation.
Travis Knight has checked in for the Los Angeles Lakers.
The Blazers need to make a run without Shaq in the game. Travis Knight and Sally on the court. Fisher not shooting the ball real well in this series. They've got to make a run.
Outside, Wallace again missing an outside shot. Lakers only have 1 starter on the floor, and that is Bryant.
Well, and that's the difference with Sally coming in the game. Now Wallace is taking jump shots rather than posting.
Oh, but he gets a rejection down low on Sabonis.
Well, that's because Sabonis stretches on everything, but John Sally made a heck of a play in running over. He told him, Shaq may not be in the game, Kevin, but I can still do a little bit of blocking out here.
That's his first block since 1990 playoffs.
I'm not messing with that. I'm not touching it.
Now that is not true.
No, that was a great play by Sally.
Fox tries to spoon feed Sally, and Spider coughs it up.
You're talking about Sabonis, you know, flopping on that play by Shaq. We got the all center flopper in Sabonis and the all point guard flopper in Derek Fisher out here tonight.
Now the Lakers take out Kobe. They bring in Shaw, so not a single Lakers starter is on the floor. Lakers have 2 with Wallace and Sabonis. And right through Sabonis' hand. That's the first turnover for the Portland Blazers tonight.
Well, and I think Phil Jackson has made a great adjustment, particularly defensively, in putting Sally in the game on Wallace, and also when he put Horry on Wallace. Wallace was really hurting him a little bit inside with his posting moves.
There's a rebound by Wallace, who has no fouls called on him tonight so far. And again, they try to get Sabonis started inside with something as he grinds with Knight, and a foul is called on Travis Knight. That's the first on him.
That's just the role of being the backup center. You know, it's just an automatic foul when you come into the game. But, you know, Travis Knight is another guy. He made a living as a rookie playing alongside Shaq. He doesn't get that opportunity very much. He's always coming in for Shaq. But a very good offensive rebound, can knock down the 20-foot jumper. Maybe next year he'll get some minutes when those guys get older. You know, AC's not playing as much anymore, but a very good player.
Yeah, I got you old. All your old guys are moved moving forward towards the finals.
But I think you used the word molasses.
That's all right as long as you're moving. The young guys aren't moving at all.
Fox and Shrimp, Sabonis guarding Knight, and here is Fisher wheeling around and trying to get something to go. Wallace, a great feed with the rebound. 3-on-2 as Pippen tries to slash in a foul. Well, Pippen is so quick, and his playoff performance has glittered more than his regular season performance as Rick Fox picks up his first foul for the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going to bring back in Kobe and bring back in Shaq. The Blazers within 3.
That's exactly where you don't want Scottie if you're the Lakers. You don't want him in the open court. That's when he's at his best offensively.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why I wonder why the Blazers don't get out and run a little bit more, even on made and missed baskets, to force Shaq up and down the court and to force him to run a little bit more.
Who do you think Pippen is tied for in second place in playoff games played? Any idea, John, at all? If you're just going to take a wild guess.
Well, let me see. Bill Russell. Bill Russell.
He's one of those old guys.
Yeah, one of those old guys.
Is it our friend to my right over here?
It is number 44 with the Celtics, but his favorite number 22, Danny.
Hey, I was old, Coach. I was old, but I knew when to get out. Some of these guys don't know. They're done.
And 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter. Pippen has 10 points, and he is the only player in the game in double figures. Shaw finding Shaq. Triple teamed again. Sally tried to climb inside. Sabonis vacuums it in, and here comes the Portland attack led by Scottie Pippen into Bonzi Wells, a very talented young player out of Miami of Ohio, who went right into the teeth of the Laker defense, and Kobe was there trying to defend.
And you see Shaq get out of the way a little bit right there, too, because he doesn't want to pick up a third foul, so this is good. He's so quick. He goes left, he right, he can pass, he can shoot outside. You see Shaq kind of get out of the way. He doesn't want any part of those fouls.
Well, and that's the reason why I said at the top of the show, Kevin, that you've got to attack him. If you let Shaq stand comfortably in there, no fouls, no irritation, he's going to block up the whole middle. But when you go at him, he's going to be in a position where he's going to start now opening up the center because he can't afford to get in early foul trouble.
He did a great job in the Minnesota series and in the Utah series, too. I'm surprised that they didn't get him in the game earlier like they did tonight in Game 1.
Danny Blazers from the line, 11 of 16.
Well, they didn't have any free throw attempts at all in Game 1 in the first half, and that hurt them.
Shaw looking for Sally, picked up by Fox. Shot clock winding its way down to 5. And 35-year-old Brian Shaw has it swiped by Wells, and here comes Portland. It's Pippen slicing inside on Shaw and finding 2.
And that's what Portland's defense is made of. Look at the pressure in full court. They don't have to double team anybody but Shaq on the court because they have the big lineup in right now. Mismatches only at one spot. That's great for their defense.
The Blazers had missed their last 5 until Pippen took over and drove inside, breaking an almost 4-minute drought.
Good hands by Bonzi Wells right there. Detlef Schrempf, you'd think that he wouldn't be able to defend Brian Shaw, but he does a great job of keeping his body. Another old guy that's getting it done.
And Pippen gives the Blazers a lead.
Like a furnace up in this mug.
Jamie Foxx.
Burning up. It's hot enough to make a cool brother sweat. Let me get a Coors Light.
See why Rain Man won 4 Academy Awards. Saturday night at 8.
And with Tom Cruise, actually I'm a very good driver, Dustin Hoffman. Counting cards. I got all kinds of lines from them. John, you want to keep hearing, or we should get back to the game? 7 minutes to play in the second quarter. Blazers on top 31-30, although they're only 2 of 7 shooting in this second quarter. O'Neal with a couple fouls, as does Sabonis. Grant on the bench with 2 fouls. Shaq plowing inside. Sabonis was there to defend, and Bonzi Wells grabs the loose ball. Scottie Pippen. He's got 12 and has looked good doing it. 6.5 to play in the half. It's Wells with the deceptive fake on Ori, driving inside. a beautiful move by Bonzi Wells.
That's another great drive by Bonzi, but Shaq, again, he doesn't even try to get his body in there. He's doing everything to avoid foul trouble. He completely jumps out of the way.
He picked up a third foul right there, Danny.
Okay, well, that's because he's not being aggressive. He shouldn't have, but he tries to get out of the way, but he can't. Great play by Bonzi.
Well, it's a real great play, and that's one of the reasons why so many people put so much emphasis on hacker Shaq. I think it is extremely important to attack him and make him a little bit more passive on the defensive end, and then he's going to have to be cautious because of his large body on the offensive end.
And he does have a large body. You can see what the Lakers are not doing. Shaw will try to end the drought and does as he knocks in a three. And the Lakers are not all that good shooting three-point shots.
Not during the regular season. They're 25th in the league, but they're shooting them well tonight because they're wide open threes and they're home.
Lakers tonight, 4 of 8 shooting three-point shots. Sabonis with the hook. The European legend again going right at Shaq, who's playing with 3 fouls. And Sabonis, scoreless in game 1, has 5 tonight.
Well, Sabonis smiled because Shaq might have been called for a foul on that play. And Sabonis is smart. He's not shooting the jump shot. He's going towards him, and he's in hunt of trying to get Shaq into foul trouble.
Shaq inside over Sabonis.
Well, it's a great play when he gets inside. But Sabonis is one of the few people that I see when Shaq makes that pivot with the ball that he doesn't push him out the way. Because most people, he has so much weight advantage on him that they just move when he turns.
Well, Phil Jackson must know a lot more about Shaq than everybody else because they're keeping him in the game with 3 fouls with the game close at this stage of the game.
And fouled by Sabonis right there. Count it. No, they will not. They will not count the basket. But Sabonis does pick up his 3rd foul. Would you leave Shaq in, Danny?
I probably wouldn't. I don't know what's going on, except they need offense, and he's creating such easy offense for them. And I think that Phil Jackson also is experienced enough to know that the officials aren't going to call any ticky-tack fouls on Shaq at this stage of the game.
What about you, John?
Well, and particularly when 2 big guys are playing against one another, they let them beat the heck out of each other. You get a little guy on him, a little guy comes in and grabs him and holds him, a foul would have been called. Now that Sabonis is out of the game, you better be careful because it's psychological warfare. Shaq now goes out of the game too, though.
So the 2 big centers have 3 fouls apiece. Travis Knight comes back in for Los Angeles. Kobe Bryant. He had 13 in game 1. He's been outstanding in these playoffs, and Bryant 2 of 3 with 8 points tonight. Pippen tries to get inside, trying to cultivate something for Portland. And out of bounds it goes back to the Lakers.
I always sense that Kobe really gets excited when Shaq goes out of the game. Not that he doesn't love playing with Shaq, but he really looks to create more on his own.
Like right here, and Ori is open for the 3-ball. Off of Smith, off the Blazers, and Los Angeles gets it back, leading by 1.
Well, and Danny's absolutely correct because when Shaq goes out of the game, Kobe becomes the first option, but that's an example of his maturity. Even though he spun and went into the basket, he pitched the ball out to Ori when he saw that the middle closed up. Last year, he would have forced some shot or gone in on a yo-yo move and tried to get up anything.
Rice tonight, pickpocketed by Pippen. And a foul called on backup center Travis Knight. And he is hit with his 2nd of the game. Pippen frustrated. Pippen may have hurt his finger on the play, too, as he's looking at his left hand. Looks like maybe his left index finger.
You're kidding me.
Pippen frustrated. What about Travis Knight? He's the one frustrated. Right here, they inbound the ball to Travis. He comes over. Scottie slaps it from behind, but Travis is just fighting for the ball. He doesn't get away. He shoves Scottie out of bounds.
Pippen
needs to audition for one of those Dustin Hoffman movies. That's what he needs to do.
But Pippen playing against his old coach, Phil Jackson. And Danny, it was interesting to see some notes that Jackson had talked about with Pippen before this series began, trying to get in his head maybe a little gamesmanship before the series began.
Phil's always trying to get in everybody's head. I think most people around the league know that he just talks, and if anybody knows it, it's Scottie knows it.
You hope.
He just likes to hear himself talk half the time.
And really, for Pippen, Los Angeles was his first choice. That's where he wanted to go. Defense for the Blazers. It's Smith from the wing inside. And he gives the Blazers a 2-point, 39-37 lead.
Well, and I'm glad to see them up-tempo their offense. I expected them to run a lot more, to press a lot more. And that was what they needed to do. Even though Shaq is not in the game, they were still able against a smaller Laker team to get the ball out and get a free basket down at the other end.
Shaw chiseling his way inside and finding Travis Knight open underneath.
Great play by Bryant Shaw. Didn't settle for the three. Saw him coming out to contest it that time. Took it to the basket. Good catch and finish by Travis.
Portland shooting 36%. Lakers 45%. Wallace grinding with Ori and finding two inside.
Well, that was a great move. You know, he went out, and that time, rather than try to stretch over Ori, who is just as tall as he is, he spun around him, which shows that Rasheed is smart enough to understand who's behind him. A lot of players just turn around and shoot the ball.
Points off turnovers. Portland thriving in that category. Kobe trying to create illegal defense. Blown on the Portland Trail Blazers, and that is the first such call tonight on Mike Dunleavy's team.
Well, we talked about how easy Ori was getting into the offense. Rasheed, the last few possessions, has done a good job. Robert will turn the ball over. He is not a good ball handler, and that's exactly what you wanted, the power forward, dribbling the ball up the court to set up your offense.
Screen by Knight. Bryant back inside tonight. He fumbles it away. It's the 7th Laker turnover. Portland has just one. Pippen inside, surging ahead, and makes the lead now for the Blazers, 43-39.
Great patience by Scottie on the break. Jump stopped right there just inside the free throw line. Tried to get the ball to Grant, but realized he just had the shot.
Kobe Bryant with the miss. Wells with the rebound. And the rebounding +1 for Portland, 21-20.
Well, and this is the tempo I felt that Portland needed to have. They needed to pull the ball, push the ball down the court, and take advantage of a faster tempo. So guys like Scottie and some of these other guys can get inside.
Pippen squeezing inside, but couldn't get the shot to drop. And out of bounds it goes off the Portland Trail Blazers. And a timeout taken. Scottie Pippen has 15 points to lead Portland over the Lakers, 43-39. The Eastern Conference Finals begin tomorrow night and continue on Thursday on TNT. The New York Knicks, after a thrilling win Sunday in Miami, take on Indiana. The Knicks had a sub-500 road record during the regular year, 17-24. But, John, they're 3-2 on the road during the playoffs, including a Game 7 win on Miami Sunday, which propels them to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, and that series was so unpredictable. I didn't feel that there was a home court advantage because both teams played well on the opponent's home court. And I just thought Sprewell was just outstanding, and particularly in the early stages of that game. His aggressiveness on someone else's court was just absolutely phenomenal.
Lakers already have 7 turnovers, as you saw, and they had 7 the entire game on Saturday. Blazers on top, 43-39. They have led by as many as 8. In fact, they're out of the shooting off to the races with an 8-0 lead in this game. As Grant comes out, Schrempf comes in, so it's Pippen, Schrempf, Wells, Rasheed Wallace, and Smith.
Well, Phil Jackson's gone with an all-small lineup. Robert Ory's the biggest man on the court for the Lakers, and they got Kobe playing Shaq's position in the triangle.
Here's Robert Ory. And on top, he gets it to Shaw. Shot clock at 3. Glen Rice. It's a 2-point shot, and down the middle it goes.
Well, it was a tough shot. The defender was all over him. I mean, it's just a great shot. That's the shot that he's got to be able to make to open it up, particularly when Shaq is in the game.
Wallace feeds to Schrempf. And now Smith has it.
Very little motion in the offense. They're trying to get the ball inside to Rasheed.
And Wallace double team. Here comes Scottie. Dancing with Rice. Driving inside with a robust move and a foul. Rick Fox picks up his second personal foul of the game.
You see Kobe just take the post position on the triangle right there where Shaq lives, and they're trying to get the ball inside to him. They can't do a good job. They don't really have a mismatch. They're still sagging. Robert Horry's not far enough to create the spacing to throw it inside. Good penetration right here. Great shot by Rice.
Three fouls on Shaq, as you just saw him on the Los Angeles bench. And here comes Scottie Pippen with his first free throw. You know, he plays off players about as well as anybody in the NBA.
Well, and it's a smart tactic because they don't put him necessarily on a primary offensive player so that he can help and give support. And that's just a smart tactic. A lot of times people put a good defensive ball player on a good offensive player. Not so. They put him so that he can float a little bit and help out other people.
Pippen had 19 points in game one. He had 17 already in game two with 1:28 remaining and a jam inside by Glen Rice.
Beautiful little wrinkle to the triangle offense right there. There was a screen. Bonzi Wells got confused. Should have fronted and denied the ball to Rice.
Smith trying to orchestrate with Shaw riding his back.
But he's also trying to tell Wells to get out of there because there's no movement there. Smith really is not that big to capitalize on an offensive posting when there is no movement.
Laker foul with 1:01 to play in the first half. They put this on Kobe Bryant for the second time tonight.
I don't know about that one right there. That looked like Bonzi Wells was going right straight to the basket no matter what. Ran right through Glen Rice.
Have you ever seen a call that you like?
Yeah. That was the first one I've complained about all night.
One.
On the air. On the air. So here's Bonzi Wells, who points to the late Bill Musselman as a man who helped him so much develop and become the player he is today. Got the Timberwolves up in Minneapolis had a memorial for Bill Musselman, their one-time coach, their expansion coach. Here comes Kobe Bryant. Fox to Ord. Shot clock showing 5 for Brian Shaw for 3. That clanks and it ricochets out of bounds right to the coach, Phil Jackson. But they say it is off of Portland, and so Los Angeles will inbound.
They're having a tough time getting the ball inside to Kobe, just like they did Shaq, and then Kobe's not near the size of a target for the entry pass in there. They haven't even got the ball to him on the block yet.
Rice searching, and lurking outside the lane was Bryant. Plenty of time to shoot. And there he tries to put one in. Rebound by Rasheed Wallace, who has 6 rebounds and 10 points in the first half.
Well, it's interesting the amount of things that Scottie Pippen does for this team. Now he's running the offense. Not only does he play good defense, he runs the defense if you watch his communications on defense.
Bonzi Wells inside to Wallace and stripped of the ball by Shaw. Horry was getting a hand in there as well. And a foul called on Shaw. AT&T halftime is on deck. And you can see Kenny the Jet right there. And off to the left-hand side of your screen, the glove. Gary Payton off on the right. Charles Barkley. And EJ, there's EJ down in the left-hand corner. That's illegal defense by EJ, by the way. He's got to be more in. There he goes, standing up and getting some airtime.
That's a heck of a crew down there.
Oh, it is. You just look for the shining, bright, bald heads over the other side.
Portland Trailblazers have taken a 20-second timeout. Anyway, the AT&T halftime is coming up with Payton, Barkley, Johnson, and Smith. They'll break down our first half and look ahead to tomorrow's Knicks-Pacers Game 1 at Conseco Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis. Kevin Harlan alongside John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Cheryl Miller. The Lakers have not lost a home playoff game this year. And while their bench had a huge performance in Game 1, it has not been as electrifying here in Game 2.
No, they haven't been getting on any runs, and the Blazers have kept close with the good offense of their own, and they've gotten in the open court on occasion and scored some easy baskets that way.
Well, and I think it's a total different situation for their bench also, Kevin, when O'Neal is not in the game. When O'Neal is not in the game, then their options are primary, not secondary options. When O'Neal is not in the game, people aren't collapsing as much, and they have more pressure on them.
And I assume, John, your thinking is that Shaq in Los Angeles cannot weather him being in foul trouble as much as the Blazers can weather for instance, Arvydas Sabonis being in foul trouble.
Well, absolutely, because the Blazers have more options. They have more people of quality that can play the post position. That's why I said in the beginning that I thought it was necessary to attack Shaq, put him in a position where they have to make some adjustments from what they normally do.
And John, on that Portland note, Wallace is keeping it cool and making a big contribution tonight to their game.
Let's not talk about it before it changes, Kevin. He's even smiling now. Look at him. I mean, Rasheed is not angry.
Foul put on Greg Anthony. That's his first.
This is a completely different Portland team, and it's also a different Laker team. The Lakers from the get-go have not played with the same kind of intensity and confidence that they did, and Portland's playing much more confident and desperate.
The bump and a foul called on Scottie Pippen. That's the first on Pippen tonight. There's a guy who sacrifices himself right there, and boring his shoulder into him was Kobe Bryant.
And that was a good call right there by the
like
official. Yeah, Scottie's a little bit too old to try to keep Kobe under control.
Should I comment on that?
Well, just
that was a good call by the officials. Okay, we'll give him credit for praising the officials. Then someone is too old. He's going back to attacking the elderly. This man is unbelievable.
Well, here's 21-year-old Kobe Bryant at the free throw line for Los Angeles.
No, I like Scottie, obviously. He's a great player. The guy's got 6 championship rings. He just can't guard Kobe.
You're going to stick with that?
I'm sticking with that story.
Well, and I tell you, if I were the Lakers, I wouldn't be too upset with Shaq not playing as much as he has, and they're in this position. I think Phil Jackson's kind of happy right now.
Lakers only had 45 points in the first half. That ties a playoff low for this year. Scottie Pippen was outstanding in that first half for the Portland Trail Blazers. 17 points. Rasheed Wallace had 12 points and 6 rebounds. And speaking of Scottie Pippen, he is standing by with our Cheryl Miller.
Scottie, before the game, you said it was very important that you guys offensively really attack Shaq, pick up some quick fouls. You're able to do that. Also, at the defensive end, you extended it and really got you guys into the game.
Well, it is. I mean, we tried to be aggressive to start the game and take the ball to the basket. Felt like in game one, we really settled for too many jump shots. And tonight, especially myself, I made a conservative effort. Just catch the ball and go to the basket on.
All right, Scottie, good luck in the second half. Let's go back to you, Kevin.
All right, Cheryl, thank you very much. The AT&T halftime getting ready. You see EJ right there with Charles Barkley. Also, Gary Payton and the Jet will join them at halftime of this game, which the Blazers lead 48-45. Hollywood and the NBA Finals going hand in hand. These are the Western Conference Finals on TNT. Kevin Harlan alongside John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Cheryl Miller. Well, Shaquille O'Neal coming back after the halftime respite. 6 points only for Shaq, which has got to make Mike Dunleavy, the coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, happy. And he's standing by with our Cheryl Miller.
Coach Dunleavy, first of all, I have to be very pleased with the way the team came out at both ends aggressively in the first half.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. I was pleased with, obviously, forcing them into some turnovers, active hands, and then at the other end of the floor, we were aggressive. We didn't settle for just perimeter shots. We mixed it up. We attacked the basket. I thought we did a nice job.
Shaq got him into early foul trouble. Only 6 points on 7 touches. What type of second half do you expect him to try to come out and have?
Well, just like he always is. I mean, they're going to go at him. They're going to be aggressive to him. It's our job to, still try and take it away.
All right, Coach. Good luck in the second half. Let's go back to you, Kevin.
And we take a look at the two centers. Foul troubles, both 3, and right on up the list, Danny, even numbers.
Well, yeah, and that's a lot closer than that we thought compared to the last game. But I think that Phil Jackson's one of the great coaches in the game. He's going to find a way to get Shaq. They're going to move him block to block, try to get him more in the middle of the paint where he can just catch and shoot.
John, the Portland defense has been superb in the first half.
Well, they have been. They've done a great job of collapsing in their half-court defense back on Shaq. Shaq's only attempted, which I think is very significant, 7 field goal attempts. They also have done a good job defensively of pressuring the ball, and as a result of it, being able to get out and get some fast break baskets. The thing that I really like that they have done, though, Kevin, is attack Shaq by going to the basket and making him a lot more tentative defensively when he's on the defensive end.
I think you said that to begin the game, and Danny, because he's playing with 3 fouls, maybe he is not the aggressive Shaq we're used to seeing, especially on the defensive side.
I think a lot of times when you become too non-aggressive, too passive on defense, that you get more fouls that way. So it'll be interesting to see which Shaq comes out defensively. They've got to do a good job. 25 free throws. That's 25 more than they had in the first half of game 1.
So we begin the second half in the all-important game 2. If Portland wins tonight, they will rip the home court advantage away from the Lakers and turn this series upside down. If LA wins, they take a 2-0 lead up to the Pacific Northwest, as Stoudemire was riding with Kobe off the baseline on the alley-oop attempt, and a whistle and a third foul on Mike Dunleavy's point guard, Damon Stoudemire.
Well, one of the things that Mike has decided is that he's going to keep the pressure on LA. He started the half out by jumping up and pressuring them again.
Inside once again, Kobe trying to spin his way, and once again he draws a foul out of the defensive point guard, Damon Stoudemire. So that is troublesome. And right off the bench comes Greg Anthony. So
well, it is troublesome, you know, because Damon can create offense for him in quick spurts, but this is a better defensive playing team, and is a little bit, they don't have to double team quite as much with Greg Anthony.
Lakers out there with Harper, Kobe, Rice, Shaq, and AC Green. Harper uncovered for 3, and the rebound is pulled down by Rasheed Wallace, recording his 7th rebound tonight.
When you said it correctly, he wasn't being guarded at all. When you said uncovered, Pippen didn't even bother to go out to attempt to guard it.
Here comes Sabonis. Out to Anthony. Launching a 3. Rebound by AC Green. Lakers at halftime of game 1 led by over 20 points. And then extended it in the second half. Shaq trying to slither his way off that baseline. And Pippen shiftily taking it inside. Out of bounds it goes. And a sloppy way to begin the second half.
Only the second turnover by the Blazers, though. But, you know, this is Shaq right here, going block to block. It's what I thought they'd do coming out of the half. Sabonis just trying to hold his own right there. Shaq gets away with a little elbow to the face. Sabonis is going to emphasize it even more and embellish it.
A little windshield wiping. Little windshield wiping. That's all he did, is gave him an easy little windshield wiping.
Shaq inside. Shot clock at 4. Harper had it knocked away by Wallace, and ricochets off Portland with 3 seconds on the shot clock.
I just don't like the looks of the Laker offense. I don't recognize it. You know, we see them when they get their bodies moving and the ball moving, but a lot of it is because they're putting so much emphasis and sagging, and they're just baiting the Laker players to take open shots.
The steal by Pippen, leading a 2-on-1. Pippen on one side, Smith on the other, who points and can't get the layup. AC Green is there. Portland has not gotten a field goal in 4.5 minutes of basketball going back to the second quarter. And Harper tried to take it inside with some nifty moves, and Pippen again comes out of the blocks and off to the races.
Well, LA isn't responding well to the pressure that Portland's putting on them. They're changing defenses, coming back a little bit, and then going up and putting pressure on.
Wallace with the shot clock down to 9. Sabonis for 3, and he can't hit that shot and gets his own loose ball. And a fresh 24. Pippen driving inside and finding 2.
Well, particularly because Shaq hadn't come back down court. Scottie's a smart player, an elderly player, and realized that Shaq was not there and went to the basket.
And he followed that leading guard, Sabonis, running down the middle of the lane. He just...
A nice lead blocker for you. Talk about screens. What's this?
This is the pulling guard move right here. You just follow, go up the back of the 7'3" guy.
Going his way. Blazers, before that basket, have gone almost 5.5 minutes without getting anything from the field. Rice tries to drive. Inside, Shaq picks it up. Shot clock is down to 5. Rice again. Auction. Rebound. Harper into Shaq. And with the jackhammer, brings the Lakers to within 3.
Well, they needed that. They needed the dunk. They needed the sensational play, because I agree with Danny. It's just something not right here. The air, the atmosphere is not the way it should be, particularly in this gym.
Loose ball foul is assessed inside.
And this is a great offensive rebound right there by the Blazers. But at this end down here, Rice with the shot clock down. Harper gets the inside position on Wallace. Good pump fake, drawing the attention of both big guys. Give the easy basket to Shaq. He's had to work so hard for him tonight.
Smith picks up his first foul for the Portland Trail Blazers. And a little more than 3 minutes gone here in the third quarter. Kobe trying to wheel inside with Anthony right there. Pippen with a forearm to Bryant. With a little shove.
Just a little bump right there.
Love tap, John, huh?
Just a little love tap.
Yeah, right here.
And I think they're reacting more to the referee's reaction to it than the other players. Neither one of the players reacted like they were getting ready to fight. I think the referees just don't want to see something happen right now.
Anthony picks up his second.
I guarantee you they don't want to fight. They want to play.
Hey, we waited 4 games in that Miami-New York series for a fight. Never saw one. Shaq dumping it into Green, who corkscrews a shot, which doesn't come close. Rebound by Wallace.
I tell you, the Lakers are really struggling in their offense down there right now. Struggling big time.
Because they don't have very much room to move, and they're just baiting them into taking outside shots. And Portland's defense has done a good job.
Wallace has 12. Anthony takes it inside and chews him up for 2. Wallace with the feed.
Well, it was a great feed by Wallace. You know, and the thing about it now, Wallace doesn't seem to be letting himself get distracted. He's playing basketball. And when he does that, he's a great player.
O'Neal to Harper, and off the fingertips of Kobe Bryant.
Well, they weren't in the spaces. You know, by now, this time of the game, you know they're double teaming Shaq every time, and guys are still moving to their spots when the ball's coming out of the double teams.
Well, and I still think when you disrupt Shaq's game, he's so pivotal around so many things that they do, it really disrupts the whole Laker team.
And a whistle down low. Ron Harper picks up number 3 for Los Angeles. And the double here.
Well, and looking at that, Kobe jumps in. He makes the double. There was a great pass because down the cutter goes right down the middle, and he's wide open. And particularly a guy like Wallace, who's tall enough to reach over the double team and make the pass.
Shaw is in. Harper's out with 3. Pippen jousting with Rice. The switch with Green and Pippen. Knocked away with some nice-looking Laker defense inside. Rice behind the back and feeds to Shaw, who puts up a 3. Lakers have hit 4 threes tonight. They've taken 12 tries from above the arc. Anthony with the stutter step. Intercepted by Kobe Bryant. A dynamite pickoff, and he comes the other way. Portland back on defense. Rice launching a 3, which didn't come close, and Pippen reels in the rebound. Los Angeles 1 of 8 with 2 turnovers in this third quarter.
Well, both by Anthony. I think trying to do a little bit too much in the transition game. There's nothing there. He needs to back it up. They can get some mismatches on a lot of different post-ups right now.
And Smith shoving his way for 2.
Well, and I think the Blazers have these guys in a position where if they're going to make their move, Kevin, they better make it now, because the Lakers aren't the Lakers that we've seen all year. And if they let them hang around here enough, they're going to get back on sync because the crowd will then get back in it.
Deceptive move by Bryant to free himself from the defense and take the shot. And a technical foul on Mike Dunleavy. It was a Sabonis foul, which is his 4th of the game. So it wasn't Rasheed Wallace, but rather his coach who picks up the tee here.
Well, right here, Sabonis is just going to try to box Shaq out. You can see Shaq's leaning, and Sabonis is just trying to hold his ground. He's not doing anything. They're just holding each other right there. I think that's a no call.
Not doing anything.
No, they're just holding position. Sabonis is fighting for his life.
Two sumo wrestlers.
Misses the tee.
Let him wrestle.
Put a headlock on the man.
Sumo wrestlers, he said. And we have a timeout. So it's kind of now or never for the Indiana Pacers, Dan.
Yeah, this is important for them, but I really don't think they're going to break it up. I think Jalen and Reggie will be back. I think Crozier will be back, or I think they're going to make an effort to bring them back anyway.
But Rick Smits has talked about retirement, as has Sam Perkins, and, you know, Mark Jackson's days are numbered.
Well, Mark Jackson could still play. As long as they keep bringing high school kids in this league, he could play for 5 more years.
Oh, my goodness. He's supporting Mark Jackson. I was getting ready to report him to CNN and have him do an investigative report on his dislike for the elderly.
We've broken new ground here tonight. That's very good, John. A very good point.
But there's a limit on age. That's all I'm saying.
Mark Jackson can play for 5 years because he's smart. Right. Age means wisdom.
Shaq, who took 25 free throw attempts in the fourth quarter in game 1 and finished 13 of 27, is now 1 of 5 tonight. Hack-a-Shaq has not been used as of yet in this one.
Well, you know, and I don't think it should be at this point. You know what I mean? And I think that they probably will try if the game is close towards the end. But if you're going to use it, you better use it now.
Kobe Bryant picks up his 3rd personal foul.
I don't think they need to use the hack-a-Shaq unless they're behind or unless they got a lead and they're trying to prevent 3-point plays late in the game.
Steve Smith.
Well, I think hack-a-Shaq works in these buildings because you have the friendly confounds. You better do it before you get in the Rose Garden, before they are met with thorns from the crowds up there. I tell you that.
Steve Smith has 10 points.
Yeah, I just don't sense the urgency in the Lakers right now.
8-point lead ties the biggest lead tonight for the Blazers when they jumped off to an 8-0 lead to begin the game. Lakers are shooting 38%. Shaq to Shaw for 3. That is the 5th 3-point shot by the Los Angeles Lakers tonight.
And a very big one. They've been struggling offensively, and they've got to do that. And I think sometimes from that spot, they got to take it at the basket as well, and maybe Shaq could get some offensive rebounds.
Here comes Smith, dueling with Cross. Grant in there fighting for the rebound with Shaq, and out of bounds it goes. And Portland will get it back. Sabonis on the bench. Kind of a smaller lineup now for the Portland Trail Blazers. Pippen. And Greg Anthony uncovered. The hustle of Grant and Rice, and out of bounds it goes, and Portland inbounds. Portland has not hit a 3-point shot tonight.
And right here, Kobe's doing a good job. He's got the one forearm on the block. Right there, Steve Smith just keeping him down. Great defense by Kobe. Huge shot by Steve Smith.
Anthony trolling the perimeter and draws the defense of Shaw. Bryant again. Oh, nice spin by Smith inside.
That was a great move. You know, he had him, he felt him on his back. He faked towards the middle and went baseline very quickly.
That was a beauty. He's got 6 in the 3rd quarter, and the Blazers lead again by 7. Shaw to Shaq in a pool of a triple team. Jump ball. I think we addressed the Portland defensive issue in our open, Danny. How important it would be tonight.
Yeah, and I thought Shaq got fouled that time. But right here, Steve Smith does a great job on Kobe on the post right there. He reads the defense, spins off the body pressure right there. Great move.
The Olympian, Steve Smith.
I think that technical foul Mike Dunleavy got might have helped. I thought Shaq was mugged that time in the middle of the paint.
Blazers +6 in rebounding. And the turnovers just 4 for Portland. Here's Anthony with a nice swerve to get by the defense of Kobe Bryant, and he gives the Blazers their biggest lead tonight.
All the young players watching that. That's a great play. Went to the other side of the rim with a bigger guy coming up to block the shot from behind.
I tell you, I like this defense, though. These guys are very active, and they're making the Lakers work for everything that they get. They're not getting them good baskets. Then they're getting the rebound and pushing it. But in this instance, they slowed it down.
And Kobe just breaking the offense right there, trying to bring him back on his own. He's got a personal battle going with Steve Smith and Scottie Pippen.
And he's only 2 of 7. Wallace. Paul Allen, the wealthy owner of the Portland Trail Blazers and the Seattle Seahawks, and multiple airplanes and everything else you can think of, is Bryant finds Shaw, and maybe out of bounds. Nope, tapped out of bounds. Shot clock at 13.
Right here, great play right there. Shaq wins the tip, but Kobe doesn't do a good job of sealing. But right there, great job of Greg Anthony using the opposite side of the rim.
And the owner likes it.
He's loving it right now.
Robert Horry is in with Bryant, Shaw, Shaq, and Rice. Quick double on Shaq. They squeeze the ball away, and here come the Blazers. They're both falling over each other just to get the ball, and Anthony finally gets it and draws the defensive mismatch against Rice. Blazers with a glittering 12-4 run. Shot clock at 6 for Smith, who is whacked by Shaw as he launched the shot. And Shaw's got 2. The hustle of the Portland Trail Blazers, very impressive.
Well, they're beating them to every loose ball, and that's extremely important, particularly when you're beating somebody to every loose ball in their court, because the crowd, again, is not a factor in this ball game. Every time you get them jump-started a little bit, Portland answers them with their defense, and then they get out and get a break.
Former Miami Heat and Atlanta Hawks Steve Smith at the free throw line, and he led Atlanta in scoring the last 4 years, and he has led the Blazers in playoff scoring this year.
Well, he's an experienced player. He can really shoot. But I really like this substitution right here with Stacey Augmon coming in the game for Scottie. Can give you a lot of the same things that Scottie gives you defensively. And Greg Anthony has given him a big spark. The Blazers are known. Their identity is defense and athleticism, and the defense has kept them in this game so far.
Especially when they've got control of the game.
Yes, it has. And, you know, nothing against Damon Stoudemire. He had a terrific game 1 offensively, and he can score some points in this series before it's over. But I like this defensive team.
Well, and particularly, as Mike Dunleavy told us when we met with him before the game, that when he substitutes is when he can apply more pressure. And now he's substituted and got some great defensive ball players in the game now.
Shaw missing another Laker third-quarter shot. As Anthony will take it the other way. The Lakers a meager 2 of 12 shooting in the third. Smith has had a nice third quarter. Rasheed Wallace for 2. Make it a 3. Wallace puts in the triple, and it's 67-51, the biggest lead tonight, as Portland gets their first three-point shot. Shaq to Horry for 3. They're 2 of 13 shooting in the third quarter.
Well, and Shaq had better be careful he doesn't get frustrated, because they're really laying bodies on him and pushing him. He's not able to receive the basketball, and also that they're posting the guy that Shaq isn't guarding. First they picked on Kobe, and now they're going down to Horry to try to post him.
There is an incredible swagger by the Blazers. And Steve Smith is carving him up with 11 points in the third quarter. 17 for the game. And the Lakers, who have not lost in the playoffs this year at home, are down by 19 points. As Rice looks for the double-teamed O'Neal. Everything going the way for Portland now.
And it's all set up with their defense. They're doing a good job. They're giving them what they want to give them, a lot of wide-open jump shots.
Horry feeding Shaq and out of bounds off Los Angeles. And a timeout. Los Angeles turnovers. 5 in this third quarter. They've gone 2 of 13 from the field, unraveling before our eyes with 2:02 to play in the third. The Portland Trail Blazers lead it 70-51.
It's the dream of a lifetime. The chance to become a legend while the whole world is...
Fourth in theaters everywhere, rated PG-13. By Chrysler, these wings will never land on an ordinary car. And by Nike.
It's the Eastern Conference Finals beginning tomorrow night and continuing with Game 2 on Thursday. The New York Knicks take on the Indiana Pacers with Inside the NBA. Before and after, coverage beginning at 8 Eastern. And here's how the schedule lays out. TNT broadcasting with Dick Stockton and Hubie Brown, along with Craig Sager from Conseco Fieldhouse tomorrow night and on Thursday. And the rest of the schedule. The Los Angeles Lakers are getting roasted at home tonight. A 6-point third quarter. And the Blazers torching him with a 19-point lead, 70-51.
Well, Phil Jackson's gone with his best defensive unit out there with Fisher pressuring the ball at the point, Ori at the 4, and Fox at the 3. And we'll see if they can get back. They got to get stops to get back in this game.
A couple substitutions, including the point guard Fisher, who brings it down and works on Anthony. Stoudemire on the bench, but the Blazers have flourished with him gone. O'Neal missing inside. Wallace with the rebound. Shaq is 4 of 10, 9 points, 8 rebounds.
Good design right there by Phil Jackson, though. Get Shaq with the ball coming across. He had a quality look.
Laker foul is called inside. And Bryant picks up number 4. Remember, this was all kind of triggered by a Mike Dunleavy technical earlier in the quarter.
Well, which at the time I thought was an ill-advised technical because they had momentum going for them. But I think one of the things that how they're playing the game defensively on Shaq and also capitalizing when they come down on offense.
Stacey Augmon with the miss. Rebound by Shaquille O'Neal, the NBA's leading scorer this year.
Well, and I think the Lakers have to change the tempo a little bit. They've got to step the tempo up. They have quicker people in the game, and they've got to be a lot more aggressively when they're playing defense out there. They've got a faster, quicker team in here, but they've got to really play some defense now.
A 2 of 15 shooting display by the Lakers in the third quarter. And the defense of Portland has been ruthless. And the three-point shooting in this quarter by Rasheed Wallace has been right between the eyes.
And the great thing right now is not only the Blazer defense, but they're getting some confidence in their offensive game, but they're keeping the Lakers off the board. Only 35% shooting for the Lakers and only 5 offensive boards.
Shaq was in a vice and broke free and drew the foul out of the defense of Portland. But they've got energy. And the first is called on Augmon.
Brian Grants gave him a big lift so far. A couple offensive rebounds in there. Now that's sumo wrestling right there. And right there, look at that. 3 guys just flying at him.
A big lift. They're lifting Shaq up.
You need a forklift to do that. And O'Neal missing again. Shaq from the line tonight is 1 of 6. Shaq comes in, what, about 370, would you say, Danny?
No, I don't think he's that big. I think he's probably 330.
Oh, I don't know.
He told me 320. I
told you 320. I listed him at 335.
Well, what is the relevance of his weight? He still has a nervous system, and he feels it when guys try to forklift him off of the floor.
The only thing is, though, he needs an electronic.
Hey, all I can
find out where it is.
Nervous system is the wrong thing to say when he's shooting free throws.
Final seconds ticking off here in the third quarter. Smith to Pippen. And outside to Wallace, another 3, you betcha.
Now, can this guy play or what? I mean, what's the value of all the technical fouls, Danny, when you can play the game the way he can play, inside, outside, defensively, rebound?
He is sparking. And even a shot by Kobe Bryant that miraculously got deployed does not go in. He can't make it happen as Anthony picks up his 3rd.
You know, we talk about the emotion that we love of Wallace, but right now he doesn't really seem to have that emotion. He's got that, you know, it's a fine balance. He's just stroking the ball. He's just playing relaxed. He's working hard on defense. He's playing more poised like a Scottie Pippen right now than the hyper Rasheed gets sometimes.
And absolutely. And the thing that happens when you get those technical fouls, people get to concentrating on that and not his ability to play the game. This kid is one heck of a basketball player, and he takes away from himself. He does himself a disservice with that foolishness as opposed to letting them see how great he is as a player.
Lakers just got their first points in over 6 minutes on those free throws by Kobe Bryant. It broke a 16-0 run. The Laker third quarter, an all-time franchise low 8 points. An incredible, ruthless defense that devoured the Laker offense by Portland. We go to the 4th with the Blazers in command, 76-53.
Just a way to rent a car.
Can we get people from the airport to their car quicker?
We can if we give everyone jet propulsion packs.
I like the fast break idea.
That's a great idea. I like that one. Okay, let's go with that one. Wow.
We're back in Los Angeles, a glittering night for Western Conference final action, Game 2, the NBA playoffs on TNT. Kevin Harlan, John Thompson, Danny Ainge, and Cheryl Miller. Time now for the budget rent-a-car fast break. And you can see the points off turnovers, one of many numbers that favor the Blazers tonight.
Oh, and that is huge. You know, the Lakers, one of the top defensive teams in basketball, are playing like the Blazers in game one, not causing any points off turnovers.
Portland Trail Blazers outscored the Lakers 28-8 in an incredible third quarter. Lakers were 2 of 15 with 5 turnovers in that third.
Well, both teams only have one starter in the game, Pippen and also Shaq for the Lakers. But I think that the Trailblazers have more quality guys that they put in who are capable of scoring anyway.
Fox knocked it away. Shot clock at 2. Anthony on the run. Rebound by Shaw. I got to believe the Lakers have a run in them.
Yeah, I think they're going to make a run. They got to hit it from the outside, though. It's going to be tough to get the ball to Shaq unless they try to get it to him in the middle of the paint.
Well, and if they have one in them, they better do it real quick.
Devin George is in for the first time, the rookie from Division III Augsburg, and Shaq inside. He rocks the rim and may detonate the Laker offense.
And I'm surprised that Brian Grant didn't foul Shaq, but maybe he felt like he didn't have a chance to get to him before he got to the air.
Lakers have not scored a field goal in almost 7 minutes until that one right there by Shaq. And a quick foul at the other end. It's on rookie Devin George. His first.
And Brian Grant, one of the strongest power forwards in the game, but Shaq is just too big for him. Look at Brian. He's got a hold of his left arm. Scottie comes down on a terrible angle on the trap. Puts Brian Grant in a tough situation.
Pippen with George on him. Double by Shaw. Shot clock is down to 5 for Bonzi Wells across the lane. Rebound by the effervescent Scottie Pippen. His first offensive rebound of the series.
Well, I give that rebound to Brian Grant. He kept that ball alive and tipped it out to Scottie. Great effort. That's the third one in this half by Brian Grant.
Wallace with the miss. George gets the rebound.
Well, and that was a great possession for them because not only did they get an offensive rebound, they were able to burn some of the clock and take their time before they took the shot, even though they didn't make it.
O'Neal tumbles hard. Fouled on the play by Grant, who picks up his third. How bad was that third quarter for Phil Jackson's Los Angeles Lakers? 2 of 15 from the field. Above the arc, they launched 6 and hit 1. 5 turnovers, 8 points, an all-time Laker playoff low for a quarter. And I'm sure Jackson hopes he doesn't see that again. We told you beginning this game with a quick foul called on Scottie Pippen that if any team in the NBA could beat this team, this might be the team, the Portland Trail Blazers, who with Los Angeles are probably the 2 best teams in the league through the regular year. With Shaq inside.
And Phil Jackson coming out of that timeout, I'm sure he keeps emphasizing every time they come out of a timeout, they try to swing the ball from side to side and get Shaq the ball in the middle of the paint.
Brian Grant's trying. He's got 4 fouls, though, Danny.
Right, and there's nothing he can do. He's doing everything he can. You can't get around in front of Shaq. He's too big right there, and the double team doesn't have time to come down and help. He got 5 guys running to the paint.
Exactly, and they're coming back, and Shaq is getting out of it. But now you take Grant out the game, and you put Sabonis in. You know, that's the options that Portland has. They're so deep with quality players that they can wear on you.
And now Shaq's hitting free throws.
Well, the thing that they better watch out for, the reason they Portland got ahead is that they contain Shaq. If Shaq gets back involved in this thing, that'll inspire this crowd and inspire the Lakers team to cut on this lead.
Devin George picks up the foul. Working on Scottie Pippen. Pippen went to an NAIA school, so take a look at Shaq. He has 14 points. With about 2 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
This Laker group is playing the kind of defense that the Lakers can play, and I think this is a great job. Rick Fox working hard, Fisher's working hard, Shaw and Devin George got a lot of energy out there.
A Rick Fox foul. He's got 3. Timeout taken by Portland. 2 minutes gone. Oh, now they've waved it off. They've waved off the timeout.
I think the timeout's got to be inside 10 minutes. So next dead ball, they'll use the timeout.
Stoudemire has been not a factor in this game. Foul trouble has curtailed his minutes. Wells Pretty move inside.
It was a great move. It's post up. They took their time. They came out of the timeout. They got the ball inside, isolated Wells, and he came up with something. They're getting baskets or fouls, and that's smart. They don't need to take stupid shots now.
He had 17 points in the last 15 minutes of the game. He's a big-time scorer.
Fisher thought about 3. George for 3, and was fouled. A loose ball foul, and it's called on Shaq, who picks up his 4th of the game. Wells thought it was on him, but it's on Shaq. 20 points to go for the Lakers. That's what they trail Portland by here in the 4th.
Staples Center's where Portland has a comfortable 20-point lead. And if there's anyone that may have the solution to Rasheed Wallace, it's certainly his mother, Jackie Wallace. And Jackie, after game 1, after Rasheed was tossed out of the game, what advice, what did you say to him?
We talked last night. I went over to his hotel, and I just told him he had to stay in there for me. Just don't say anything, right? Keep your mouth shut, baby, and he did. And so Jackie, far, it's so good.
Well, Jackie, anytime during the season, did you ever think to yourself, enough is enough, Rasheed, and what advice did you give him?
There again, it was Rasheed, just keep your, maintain your calm, regardless of whether you think it's a bad foul call or not. You just do your thing, and everything's going to work out.
And you finally had to tell him he had to choose what jersey he wanted, the officials or his regular jersey.
Yeah, whether he wanted the Portland jersey or he wanted the stripes.
Well, we're glad he chose the Portland jersey. Enjoy the game, Jackie. Let's go back to you, Kevin.
I wonder if Mike Dunleavy used that term, just keep your mouth shut, baby. That would have been pretty good. Wells missing from outside. Shaq bouncing into Sabonis, who picks up another foul. He picked up 2 to begin the game. He is just tagged with his 5th right there.
Well, we talked about Rasheed Wallace having to dominate that power forward position. He certainly has tonight, the way that he's played the first 3 quarters of this game.
3 minutes gone in the 4th quarter. Portland trying to tie this best-of-7 Western Conference Final Series at a game apiece. Shaq inside. Shaq has all 7 points for the Lakers in this quarter.
And his last 3 baskets have come from the middle of the floor. Swinging the ball to the top. Tough to get down right there. Sabonis can't do anything. Shaq using his lower body to just get more and more and more room at the basket.
He almost, for a guy that big, he gives you a move with every part of his body, which is usually relegated to the smaller players. But John, his nimbleness is truly one of his great attributes.
Very much so, and I think this second unit of Portland is so aggressive defensively that they're staying out on their men a lot longer than the first unit, who probably was not as active and tend to wanted to move back and clog the middle a lot more.
Rasheed Wallace with 12 rebounds. Blazers by 18. They've led by as many as 25 tonight. Pippen to Anthony, trying the alley-oop for Wallace, who went airborne, and a Laker foul is called inside, and this goes on Rick Fox for a 4th time. So here's Rasheed Wallace at the free throw line. 4 on Fox. You saw Rasheed's mom. He's out of Philadelphia, born and raised in Philadelphia, and might be the best player to come out of that great city since Wilt Chamberlain.
We might need to bring her on the bench next year, or the rest of the playoffs. Keep Rasheed in the game.
Keep your mouth shut, baby.
Well, I thought she was going to say I took a visit to the backyard and got one of those hickory sticks out the backyard on her.
John, you recruited Rasheed, didn't you?
Yeah, and he's a great person and very talented young man. And as I've said earlier, one of the bad things about getting all these technical fouls is people fail to see his ability, and it's nobody's fault but his own. He does himself a disservice, Kevin, by acting the way he does on the court, because you don't see that this kid hustles, he rebounds, he defends, and he's a great offensive player.
And he's a very well-liked player by his teammates, and a good person in the community, and he's done a lot of good things, but it's always overshadowed by all the attention he draws to himself.
Kevin George tried to drill one from outside, and Wells collects it. Portland can steal a game here tonight. That'd be huge for this series.
Yeah, because the Lakers have been 2 completely different teams. They're playing like tonight, like they played on the road. They have not played well on the road throughout the playoffs.
Wallace with the spin, but can't convert. He'll be at the free throw line. The defense for the Blazers has been superb.
And I think that, you know, the technical foul was one, but I think another big addition was Greg Anthony coming in for Damon Stoudemire. The defense is their identity. The defense is what this team is built on. Their depth, their athleticism, and their defense, and that's what's got them this league.
The 8 points they allow in the third, the way they've handled the big three tonight. And they haven't turned the ball over. Only 5 turnovers for the Portland Trail Blazers.
Well, and Mike Dunleavy's strategy also. You know, they have some very talented defensive-minded people who have ability to play it, but also like to play it. But I think the strategies that Mike Dunleavy has used today to contain Shaq and stop him from getting a lot of attempts, particularly in the first half, was just excellent.
Rasheed Wallace with 26 points to lead all scorers tonight. Lakers in the second half, 15 points in 16 minutes. Ryan Grant hit with a foul there. He's now got 5. Sabonis is on the bench, and he has 5 fouls. As you see, Arvidas, a legend in European basketball, whose best years are behind him.
This is where you wonder, you know, Joe Klein is a guy that they had on their roster throughout the course of the season. He did a great job of shutting down Charles Barkley in his career, but another guy that he could guard was Shaq. And playing against this team, they elected to keep 3 point guards on their roster as opposed to 3 centers. This would be a perfect time to bring Joe Klein in. But Jermaine O'Neal, a lot skinnier, has a tough time containing Shaq.
20-point lead right now. I'd like to thank some of the great people who have made this season so incredible for Turner, our cameraman, Andy Italiano, Barry Hasselmus, Matt Cunningham, Bill Eamon. Great job, fellas. Thank you for an outstanding effort the entire season for TNT and TBS. Under 8 to play. Fisher is in guarding Wells, doubled by Ori. Wallace. Pippen ends up with it. Belches as he went up, and a foul call.
Well, great patience on the part of Portland, and also a smart shot selection. They passed the ball around. Nobody forced the shot. That used some of the clock. Then Scottie penetrated, so he didn't have the shot. Ended up sucking the man into a foul.
And it all started by the double team of Wells. Here's a guy that doesn't even get to play until toward the end of the third quarter in game 1. And all of a sudden, he's being double teamed every time he catches the ball against the best, one of the top defensive teams in basketball, the Lakers.
Pippen hits it. Scottie tonight with 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists of 19 in game 1.
Well, and I just feel the Lakers had better change the tempo of this game with their defense. If they're going to play good defense, they got to get out. They've got to step the pace up a little bit of this game, but not take stupid shots. They've got to defend a lot better. Instead, Portland is still pressuring them. Portland doesn't want to pick up stupid fouls either right now, but they want to keep pressure on these guys and not let them get settled.
Bryant. Kobe's last field goal came in the second quarter. Here's Fisher from outside. It's a 2-point shot. 83-63 Blazers. Blazers do not have a lot of playoff experience. Wells drives inside and flies for 2.
That's why they have to double team him. Yes. They don't double team him, it's in trouble. He can go by most of the players out there. I think Rick Fox, maybe Kobe can handle Bubba, but Bonzi Wells, but I guarantee you Robert Horry can't handle him on the perimeter.
I like that Bubba. Where did that come from?
Bubba Wells. Bubba Wells.
I know that. 6.5 to play.
Well, then the other disadvantage of having Scottie in the backcourt, the man is 6'8". You try to trap him, he just reaches over the traps and makes the pass. And that's a great advantage for Portland. This team is so flexible offensively and defensively, interchangeable offensively and defensively.
Rasheed Wallace with the miss. Pippen gathers in the offensive rebound.
Well, it can't happen. The Lakers can't let him use that much of the clock and then go up and shoot and then they come out and have another possession.
Well, they're getting the defense scrambled around because the Lakers are not good at containing penetration when the ball's being doubled. And they're not used to having to double team. That's why Phil Jackson likes big guards.
And look at the hustle of Rasheed Wallace there.
Well, exactly right. The hustle of all of them. The Blazers have all day long been beating them to loose balls, really getting good movement and selecting what they want to do with them offensively.
Bubba Wells, Bonzi Wells, is putting on a clinic in the low post right now.
Bubba Bonzi, it doesn't matter. He's got a sparkling performance with his teammates tonight in Los Angeles. By the Portland Trail Blazers tonight has been outstanding, really from the get-go.
It really has, but I thought it really picked up in the second quarter, and in this second half, it's even gotten better. I think Bonzi Wells has done a great job. Greg Anthony, Stacey Augmon came in and gave him a little bit of a lift. Brian Grant and Sabonis have been tag teaming Shaq, and they're getting every loose ball.
Shooting tonight for the Los Angeles Lakers, although the fourth quarter they've gone 5 of 7 for the game, just 40%, after shooting 53%, upwards of 54 in game 1. .547 to play. Lakers are 7-0 at home in these playoffs.
How many people going into this series would say, you know, Phil Jackson, one of his main concerns defensively would be to stop Bonzi Wells. And, you know, Rasheed Wallace has had a nice game at the 4 position. That's an obvious concern. But this guy is demanding double teams every time down the court. And like I said, he's like the 9th and 10th man on the bench for Portland all year.
Well, it's a hell of a luxury, too. You put a guy in there like that. As you said, he demands double teams. But if you look at their bench, they have so many guys that you can put in special situations, and particularly when their confidence level is high as it seems to be right now.
Shaw for 3. And a shove inside. Brian Grant appears to have just picked up his 6th and final foul, and he'll be gone. 5.5 to play in the 4th.
It's a tough assignment for anybody defending Shaq. I mean, you're just going to get a couple of fouls. He's so big, it just looks like you're sumo wrestling him.
I tell you what, I don't feel bad for him, though, because now he fouls out of the game, and then now you put this other little guy in the ball game you call Sabonis. He comes in the game. He's about 7'3" or 7'4", weighs more than Shaq. The only guy in the world that looks like he dwarfs Shaq when he's out there.
That's a good point, because there aren't many centers in the NBA that have that kind of physical build that can, you know.
Well, he can lean on him. He can push him when Shaq turns. You know, he's just not dominating the way he does other players.
87-66 Blazers. Neal again hits it tonight from the free throw line, 5 of 13.
Well, and Brian Grant fouls out. Sabonis has 5. They'd be in real trouble if this game was coming down to the wire.
Oh, Bonzi Wells catching another expertly thrown pass from the outside, this time authored by Sabonis.
And that's been open all night. They've been trying to front that post, and the weak side is not there because they have to be lifted to be legal. That play has been open, but that's the first time Shaq did not put any pressure because Sabonis caught the ball so far out.
Bonzi Wells had 17 in game 1. He's got 8 in the quarter and 12 for this game 2.
Well, and he'll just feast on Fisher's size, particularly if he stays in there posting him. They can just throw it over the top, and he'll just jump up and put it in the basket.
Fox with a 3 from the corner. And he was uncovered when he took it.
Well, Scottie was angry that time at Rasheed for not going out there. I love the way Scottie Pippen is orchestrating his team, though. Both offensively and defensively, he's doing a good job.
Kobe had the steal, and Sabonis grabbed it right back.
But you know, the defense that the Lakers have been playing this quarter is so much more urgency, so much better defense and help and everything else. Why did they wait so long? Why did Portland wait so long in game 1? You know, that's one thing I admire about the New York-Miami series, was those guys played hard every second. Now, these teams are both a lot more talented. If they play with the same mentality they're playing with right now, they'd both be better off.
The intensity in the Miami-New York series was just... It translated on TV, but to be in the building and feel that is the same kind of feeling we had watching the Blazers in this third quarter tonight.
Well, the one thing you want to see, if you pay your money, you come to a game, if you watch a ball game, you want to see the athletes play hard. Both Miami and New York played hard the entire ball game throughout the whole series. It might not have been interpreted as being beautiful as some would have liked to have seen it, but certainly you want to see athletes doing the best they can, as hard as they can do it.
There's Steve Smith at the free throw line. Bryant argues his 5th foul. Special thanks, too, to our tech director, Dennis Stone, Rick Maldonado, Rembert Young, and our replay booth, along with Pat Thornton on audio. And Catherine Zawicki, Tom Yohe, and Wayne Fiddleman. Guys, thank you so much for an outstanding, enjoyable, fulfilling season. It's been great all the way the first couple days of November. That group has been with us for this great ride through this 1999-2000 NBA season.
You know, Kevin, one of the things when we asked Mike Dunleavy before the game who was his best point guard, he said Scottie Pippen in terms of regulating the team, running, setting the tempo offensively and defensively, and certainly he's demonstrated that tonight.
Shaq trying to go up and was fouled on the play. Sabonis is gone. Sabonis just picked up his 6th foul. Much to the amazement of Mike Dunleavy.
It actually looked like Scottie was trying to go down and foul him intentionally so Sabonis wouldn't pick up a 6th foul.
It's very seldom that you'll ever see a coach beg that Scottie Pippen gets the foul. He was wiggling his 3 fingers, 33, 33. Dunleavy wanted him, please call it on Scottie Pippen.
Well, like Danny said, it was almost intentionally.
Well, it was. And I think that's why Mike Dunleavy was trying to get him to make the call.
O'Neal missing the first free throw. Let's go back and look at the replay and see if we can spot it.
Well, right here, Scottie's in the post. Scottie's already fouled him once right there, fouled him again. Sabonis just holding his ground right there. But the thing about it is, you know, Jermaine O'Neal, they're not going to put him in the game now because they might do hack a Shaq on Jermaine O'Neal. Think getting confused because he can't shoot free throws for Portland.
Hey, same last name, maybe the same philosophy. Approaching 4 to play. Blazers shooting 42% for the game. Lakers down to 39%. O'Neal has 21. He leads Los Angeles. Wallace has 26 points, 12 rebounds. He made a difference tonight. And he had 3 threes in the 3rd quarter, which was a part of his arsenal.
I think game 3, the Blazers are not going to get away with as much as they did against Shaq tonight. I think Shaq was a little caught off guard. He just didn't have a chance to get going this 4th quarter. He's been much more assertive. I think he's going to get a lot more opportunities in game 3 than he did tonight.
Fox with the swirling attempt. And Shrimp is there, fouled by Derek Fisher. Kobe Bryant tonight with 12 points, just 2 of 8. He's missed his last 5 shots. And his last field goal came with 5:10 to play in the 2nd quarter.
Was that the 3-point shot he hit?
Yes.
Well, you know, and that was off a double team in a semi-transition break. But in the half court, he's been double teamed when he's got Stoudemire on him, sometimes Greg Anthony, and every other time he's had bigger guys matching up with him.
What about this crew right here, guys? What about that crew? There's the Jet, the Glove, Sir Charles, and Egypt. And inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai.
You name them, I'll feed them.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got one of the greatest power forwards ever right there. You got one of the greatest point guards ever right there with the left. And then you got the Tornado.
Tornado. And you got the best host of them all, bringing it all together. He's in control of that circus. He's the Carnival Barker. We'll look forward to their interpretation of this game tonight as Portland crushing Los Angeles. Another miss by Kobe Bryant. 2 of 9 shooting for him. 3.5 to play in the game. And the Blazers appear to be going back to the Pacific Northwest with a new series in hand, and it goes down for Wallace. He kind of bobbled that ball. You know, he has very small hands to begin with. He will not dunk all that much, and when he does, it's usually with 2 hands. He has trouble with one hand. His hand is so small.
How do you know that?
John, there is not a stone that goes uncovered with this crew. Research, John. Research, scouting reports, endless study.
It doesn't matter how big his hands are anyway, it's how good they are.
Well, they're good. 29 points good tonight.
Yeah, I bet his hands are as big as Jerry Rice.
Probably are.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, the ball's a lot. This ball's a lot.
The only thing that I've ever agreed with Danny on. He's right. Jerry Rice doesn't have big hands.
We've broken new ground again. We've done it first with the age thing, and now this. Wallace, 29 points, a career playoff high.
No, I'm going to report Danny to the AARP. That's exactly what I'm going to do to him. I'm going to write a letter myself to him.
Well, there's a limit on age. I like experience like anybody else, but, you know, if experience meant everything, Bill Russell and Bob Cousy still be playing. There comes a point you get too old, you can't play, and you got to know that age. I could say Larry Bird and Kevin McHale would still be playing if experience meant everything.
Well, I tell you what, they wouldn't be bad selections with some of this stuff I've seen out here from some of these young people.
Danny, you could probably give them 15 or 20 minutes.
Hey,
I would take Danny. Let's see if he disagrees with this. I would take Danny.
Hey, I would play on the Lakers with a wide open jump shot.
Listen to him. Listen to him.
I might not be able to guard anybody.
Smith has 22. Fisher to Shaq.
Is a pro down there and doesn't mind using over here.
No, exactly. Well, we're at the 2-minute warning. We'll call it 99-72. The Blazers have tied this series.
It was late in the fourth.
Back to the Staples Center. Kenny Smith and Ernie Johnson here, and we're getting ready for Inside the NBA. Kenny, these guys have had a lot of things to say about specifically Charles and Gary and what great players they are. I don't know if they've said a whole lot about your exploits.
Well, you know, Ernie, sometimes the best things are left unsaid.
That's why I really like working with you. You are so deep.
He's a wordsmith.
Yeah, Kenny, the wordsmith. Forget the Jet. We'll have a lot of stuff on Inside the NBA. Charles Barkley is here. Oh.
Does he know we're on the air? Ernie, does he even know we're on the air?
No, I was kind of hoping we weren't, as a matter of fact, Kevin, but...
I haven't heard Kenny speechless very often right there.
Well, Gary Payton will also be with us on Inside the NBA, along with the Jet and Sir Charles.
I assume Charles and Gary are getting some food here before they start the post-game show.
No, Ernie better get his token in now.
In fact, Gary is walking toward us right now. It looks replenished. It looks like he's gotten some food. Charles is living off what he had at halftime. Hey, is the game still going on, guys?
Yes, it is.
Good.
We have Shaq at the free throw line. We look forward to Inside the NBA with
us.
With you guys.
Thank you very much.
I thought Charles was not getting a pizza from the show.
You know we did in the first half. Shaq is 5 of 16 from the line, and Wallace will check out. And the fact he was able to stay active tonight and eligible was huge. 29 points, 12 rebounds, both career playoff highs. Devin George taking it inside with about 2 minutes to play. And the talk with his mom, it looks like paid some dividends. It was Jackie's mom.
But I like the one where she said, which uniform would you rather wear? You want to be an official or you want to be a Portland Trailblazer?
Special thanks, too, to our statistician all season long, Pat McGrath. And in the truck, we are lucky enough to have, we think, the finest producer and director in the business, Mike Burks and Lonnie Dale. And guys, thank you for making our season as a threesome so easy, so appetizing. 99-73. Great job all season.
That guy Burks, I wouldn't want him as a coach.
No, I would. I know I'd win.
He's too hard.
I haven't been cursed at since I played.
Yeah. Well, you deserved it. Big shrimp. And kicks it back to Wells. Shot clock is down to 6. Steve Smith has had a wonderful performance tonight and continues that way as he plops in his 24th point. And they are your team, and this was their time tonight, especially Rasheed Wallace, who leads all scorers with 29.
Well, that's the danger of Portland. I mean, even when they substitute and put the so-called subs in, the quality is so strong that they can still put so much heat on you defensively and offensively.
Jermaine O'Neal taking it inside. The Portland Trailblazers have won a regular season game here in Los Angeles. The two teams in their 4 regular season meetings each won 2, and the Blazers won a game here, but I don't know if any team in the 5 defeats, except for San Antonio, has had the kind of impact on Jackson's team tonight in Los Angeles this year.
Well, this is, you know, he's talked about this team not going through adversity. They went through a little bit of adversity in both the first 2 series, and this is the first adversity coming up here, and this is the toughest adversity, being 1-1. It's the first home loss they've had with the home court advantage, and they're going to a very hostile Portland Coliseum there, the Rose Garden, and that's going to be a tough place to win.
The Rose Garden where there will be many thorns. That's exactly what will happen.
A rose is a rose is a rose.
you know, it'll be interesting to see the reaction of both teams to this, the Lakers to this defeat, and whether Portland will be overconfident and can keep their concentration and level of intensity that they had today.
That's a good point, but Portland is unbeaten at home in the playoffs. Fisher sneaking his way down the lane, and Jermaine O'Neal, no relation to Shaquille O'Neal, picks it up. Yeah, they're 5-0 in the Rose Garden in these playoffs this year.
You know, and you got to give Mike Dunleavy a lot of credit because they went 6 for 8 in the second quarter last game, shooting the threes. He knew it was an aberration. He knew that they were not a good three-point shooting team, and he's going to take his chances. He played the percentages, and it's got him a split.
And this series is now completely different. The home court has been ripped away from the Los Angeles Lakers, and Scottie Pippen had a big say in that. Mike Dunleavy came out with some nice adjustments tonight, too, from game 1 to game 2.
Yeah, I think they did a better job of executing his game plan, but I will say this. I think that the defensive-minded players have gotten more minutes and have been able to execute that game plan as well.
Well, and particularly, you know, when they came in and started to press, they started to run. I love the strategy that he used early to go in after the head and the body will die. He went after Shaq extremely aggressively by driving. Shaq got frustrated, and that threw the Lakers off completely.
Gary Grant in the game for the first time. And the ex-Los Angeles Clipper feeds inside and gets an assist as he tosses it in to Jermaine O'Neal. And there's the other O'Neal, a little bit disappointed, even though he had 23 points and 12 rebounds tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's American Express leaderboard, as it appears that the Lakers will suffer their worst defeat of the season. Right now down 105-75, a 30-point deficit. The second remaining, Rick Fox slams it in.
Well, I think the Lakers, Kevin, if they want to get back in this thing, they're going to have to give Shaq a lot more help offensively because they collapsed so far back on Shaq, meaning Portland, and the Lakers' outside players didn't hit those shots, and that set the tone for this game.
And a quick foul called as Gary Grant was taking it down the side. Well, we'll hand off the baton to Dick Stockton, Hubie Brown, and Craig Sager, who are in Indianapolis tonight, prepping for their game tomorrow. Game 1 Eastern Conference Finals, the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks. And those two guys who have done such a marvelous job for so many years covering the NBA will take Turner through the final 2 games on their NBA schedule for this year. But it's been fun with you guys throughout this season. Danny, you joining us after you had a career change earlier in the year, and
yeah, I've been able to sleep a lot better, even though Coach has been picking on me a little bit too much this year.
Well, you're black and blue on the one side of your arm. I can see that.
Hey, talk about black and blue. That's going to be a great series in the East. And New York, I guarantee you, is a little black and blue.
And we are even in the Western Conference Finals, 1-1. Home court has switched in this series, has been turned upside down. Los Angeles with their 29-point loss, the worst home playoff loss since they moved to Los Angeles from Minneapolis. Let's send it over to Cheryl Miller.
Well, Rasheed, what a difference that a game makes. It seemed like you guys came out from the very beginning, set the tone defensively, kept them off balance, mixing up your defenses, got after every loose ball, and offensively, you guys were really patient.
Yeah, we were just eager to play. You know, the other night they kicked our butts royally, so we just had to come back and show that we can have a better performance than that we tried to do tonight.
Speaking of a better performance, I spoke to the expert, your mother, Jackie, who said that she had a conversation with you in your hotel room. She said, please, just do it for me. What did she say?
Well, you know, it's my mom. Like, she's always been there for me throughout my career. She told me just to go ahead and play and leave everything else, push it to the side. And I had family and friends call me today, so that's what I went out there to do. You know, my teammates was behind me, and it was just a good game for us.
What is your mindset? Because you obviously know, Rasheed, how valuable you are to this team. What is your mindset for the rest of the playoffs as far as keeping your cool and being under control?
Well, we just had to take it a game at a time, honestly. You know, I'm going to just go out there, and I know I have my teammates to back me up to try to keep me down. So that's just the main thing, to go home and try to get these 2 W's and come back to L.A.
All right, congratulations. Enjoy the win. Let's go back to you, Kevin.
29 points and 12 rebounds. And thank you very much, Cheryl Miller, for tonight. Here comes the remaining schedule, all on NBC, with Game 3 Friday and Game 4 on Sunday. But the series is tied at 1 win apiece. Once again, our final score, 106-77. For John Thompson, Danny Ainge, Cheryl Miller, and our entire NBA and TNT crew, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Los Angeles. Danny, a real pleasure.
Been fun. You, even though you've been eating all our food at night, I had a great time. I had a great time working with you.
John, you're the best. Great working with you this season, rookie.
Thank you. It's been great. I enjoyed it.
A quick break, and Ernie Johnson will take you the rest of the way with Charles Barkley, Gary Payton, and the Jets. So long from Los Angeles.